Hello, in this video we're going to be talking about inequalities regions. So the objective here is to draw inequalities on a graph and shade the correct region. So a key idea, when we're representing inequalities on a graph, we use a solid line to represent less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, and we represent a dashed line to represent less than or more than. So here's an example. It says shade the region y is greater than or equal to 2x minus 1. So to do this, what we need to first do is draw the graph of y equals 2x minus 1. Now this was already covered in another video, but if you don't know how to do this, what we do is we draw a quick table of values. So we have x and y, and we pick some values of x. So I'm going to choose numbers that are between -6 and 6, just because that's the way my graph is drawn. So I'm going to go with 0, 1, 2, and 3. So when x equals 0, I need to sub x equals 0 into here. So I do 2 times 0, take away 1. So y is going to be -1. When x is 1, I'm going to do 2 times 1, take away 1. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 take away 1 is 1. When x is 2, I'm going to do 2 times 2, take away 1. So 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 take away 1 is 3. And when x is 3, I'm going to do 2 times 3 minus 1. So that's going to be 5. So I'm going to plot the coordinates 0, -1, so that's here. I'm going to plot 1, 1, so that's up here. I'm going to plot 2, 3, so that's up here. And I'm going to plot 3, 5, so that's up here. So because it's greater than or equal to, I use a solid line to represent it. So I'm going to draw a line between them, and this is a solid line. So we need to shade the region where y is greater than or equal to 2x minus 1. So we can either shade above or below the line. Because we're looking at the values that are greater than, we want the region above the line. So it's going to be this area here, because everywhere in this area, y is greater than or equal to 2x minus 1. So for example, if we picked a value 0, 3, so the coordinate 0, 3 has an x value of 0 and a y value of 3. So if I plug that into here, I have 3 is greater than or equal to 2 times 0 minus 1. So 3 is greater than or equal to -1, which we know to be true. So if we're looking for the values greater than, we're looking for the values above the line. If we were looking for values less than, we would be looking below the line. Here's another example. So we need to shade the region y is less than -x plus 3. So firstly, I need to draw the graph of y equals -x plus 3. And to do that, I'm going to draw a quick table of values, so x and y. I'm going to choose the values of x of 0, 1, 2, and 3. So when x equals 0, y is -0 plus 3, so that's going to be 3. When x is 1, y is going to be -1 plus 3, so that is 2. When x is 2, y is going to be -2 plus 3, so that is 1. And when x is 3, y is -3 plus 3, so that is 0. I'm now going to plot 0, 3, so 0, 3 is up here. I'm going to plot 1, 2, so that's here. I'm going to plot 2, 1, so that's here. And I'm going to plot 3, 0, so that's here. And because it's just less than, it's not less than or equal to, the line that I'm going to draw between them is going to be a dashed line. So it's going to look something like this. So now when we're looking for the region, because y is less than -x plus 3, we're looking for the values that are below the line. Because it's less than, it's below. So this is the region we're looking at, because this is the area below the line. And we could check our answers correct by picking a value in the region. So if I pick the value 1, 1, for example, I have 1 is less than -1 plus 3, 1 is less than 2, and we know that to be true. So that verifies that the region we've chosen is the correct region. Here's another example. It says shade the region x is less than or equal to 2. So the first thing I need to do is draw the line x equals 2. So x equals 2 is the line where all of the points have an x coordinate of 2. So we could have 2, 1, for example, or we could have 2, 2, for example, or we could have 2, -2, for example, or 2, 0, for example. So all of these points have an x coordinate of 2. So the line is going to be the straight line that passes through all of these points. So it's just a vertical line where x equals 2. And we want the region where it's less than or equal to 2. So it's a solid line because it's less than or equal to 2, and it's less than. So we want the region that's to the left of the line, so it's this region here. So this question here, we need to shade the region where y is greater than or equal to x minus 1, and y is less than or equal to -2x plus 4. So this time I need to sketch two graphs. So I'm going to do a table of values for each one. So for the first one, I'm going to do x's between 0 and 3. So I'm going to do 0, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to do the same for the second one. So I need to complete the corresponding y values. So when we have x minus 1, the first one's going to be 0 minus 1, so that's going to be minus 1. This one's going to be 1 minus 1, so that's 0. This one's going to be 2 minus 1, so that's 1. And this one's going to be 3 minus 1, so that's 2. And then for the other table of values, I'm doing minus 2 times 0 plus 4, so that's going to be 4. I'm going to do minus 2 times 1 plus 4, so that is 2. I'm going to do minus 2 times 2 plus 4, so that is 0. And minus 2 times 3 plus 4, so that is minus 2. So if I draw the lines for each one, so if I do the top one, I'm going to plot 0 minus 1 first. Then I'm going to plot 1, 0. Then I'm going to plot 2, 1. And then I'm going to plot 3, 2. And then I'm going to draw a line between them. I'm also going to label this y equals x minus 1, just so we know which line is which. And then for the other one, I'm going to plot 0, 4, so along 0, up 4. I'm going to plot 1, 2. I'm going to plot 2, 0, and I'm going to plot 3 minus 2. So that's going to be this line here. So this is line y equals minus 2x plus 4. So now I need to shade the correct region. So for this one, it's greater than or equal to minus 1. So we want the region that's above the line because it's greater than. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cross out the region that's less than to show that we don't want that region. So I'm going to cross out this part. And for the second one, we want less than or equal to. So we want the region that's below the line. So I'm going to cross out above the line to show that we're rejecting that region. So now we're left with this region here, so this is the region that we want. So that is the answer to this question. So here is a quick fire practice question on this topic. Pause the video, have a go at this one, and I'll reveal the answer in a moment. Okay, so well done if you managed to have a go at this question. So I've just displayed the answer, and that's everything for this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video. Bye!